What's up guys, Tobiias here and welcome back to episode number 3 now of comparing the players' ratings from FIFA 14's Ultimate Team to their previous version on FIFA 13. So I have done 2 episodes already. If you have gone and missed those, then I do highly recommend coming over to my channel and watching those 2 first episodes first. Did I just say that wrong? Either way, catch up on those first 2 episodes simply so that you can see which players we have already covered in this series. Those 2 episodes have gone down an absolute storm. Thank you ever so much for the feedback, the likes, everything you're giving me on that. So if we could smash another 2,000 likes on this episode, that would be absolutely insane. So then, the first player we're going to be looking at, you can see on your screens now, is Robben from Bayern Munich. He has stayed an 88 rated player on FIFA 14. I mean, his stats haven't changed too much. His pace has dropped down to 92, which is a drop by 1. His shooting stayed exactly the same. His passing has stayed exactly the same. His dribbling has stayed exactly the same. The defending has stayed exactly the same. And the heading has stayed exactly the same. So the only thing that has changed is his pace. He's got a little bit slower, which does seem to be the majority of the cases for the high rated players that I've already looked at in this series. I mean, every single high rated player that we've looked at seems to be that they have dropped in pace somehow, apart from Cristiano Ronaldo, who's the only player that I can think of on the top of my head at the minute who has actually gone up in pace. So that is Robben. The next player we're going to be looking at then is Hummels from Borussia Dortmund. As you can see, he again, just like Robben, his overall rating has not changed. He has stayed the same at an 85 rated centre-back, and this time his pace has stayed exactly the same. I mean, normally, as I was just saying, EA have felt the need from the transfer to FIFA 13 over to 14 to drop a lot of the players' pace, especially, for example, Vidic. We saw a massive decrease in pace from Vidic. I believe he's dropped by 6, but it's good to see that they have kept Hummels at 65. His shooting stayed exactly the same, his passing has stayed exactly the same. It's pretty much the same thing for Robben, pretty much. His dribbling has stayed exactly the same, his defending's gone up by 1, and his heading has gone up by 1. So his defensive stats have both gone up, the defending and the heading. However, his overall rating has stayed the same at 85, which is exactly the same as it was in FIFA 13. The next player we're going to be looking at, like you guys in episode number 2 were asking for this one, an absolute shitloads. I do ask for you guys to put names in the comment section as to who you would like to see compared in the next episode, and I'm almost certain that like nearly 50% of the comments on that video were all for Lewandowski. So here he is then, and this is the first player we have seen with an upgrade of 3 overall stats. That is ridiculous. I mean, personally, I think EA underestimated him last year. He was absolutely amazing. He was brilliant. And he thoroughly deserves this 3 overall ratings increase in stats on FIFA 14. If you think otherwise, you know what to do. Let me know in the comment section below. So, looking at his stats then, his pace has stayed the same. His shooting has gone up by 3, which is pretty obvious. You can't, put up a player's overalls by 3 and not boost up his shooting. Beg your pardon. His passing has gone up by 1. His dribbling has stayed exactly the same. His defending has gone up by 3 and his heading has gone up by 1. So in his stats there are a few, they don't seem to be too many upgrades. Despite, if you think about it, if you think a player's gone from 83 to 86 and he's a striker, you would have thought that the shooting would have gone up by 3, a little bit more than that. But anyway, these only gone up by 3. The next player we're going to be looking at is Carrick. A lot of you guys again wanted to see this guy. I'm a United fan. I absolutely fucking adore Michael Carrick. I think he is an amazing centre mid. And I'm extremely happy to see he's gone up to an 82 rated overall player, which is absolutely amazing. His pace has dropped by 1. His shooting has stayed exactly the same. His passing has gone up by 1. I know I'm not meant to be putting my opinions into these videos. It's something that I want you guys to do in the comment section, but oh, come on, EA. Surely an 85 passing. But anyway, 75 dribbling. His defending's gone down by 2, which is surprising because a lot of the time he does play centre defensive mid. He's more of a defensive midfielder. And his heading has also gone down by 3. So in the stats, there seem to be a lot more downgrades than upgrades, despite the fact his overall has gone from 81 up to 82 in FIFA 14. Next then we've got Yaya Toure. He has stayed exactly the same at an 86 rated centre mid. Well, In FIFA 14, his card you got in a pack was a centre mid. However, this time on FIFA 14, if you do get Yaya Toure in a pack, you will expect him to be a centre defensive mid player. His pace has stayed exactly the same, his shooting has gone up by 1, his passing has stayed exactly the same, his dribbling has stayed exactly the same, his defending has dropped, stayed exactly the same, beg your pardon, and his heading has stayed exactly the same. So there are a lot of similarities in his stats there from FIFA 13 to FIFA 14, but his overall has stayed at an 86, so you're not exactly going to be expecting too many changes in his stats. The next player we're going to be looking at then is Fellaini, recently transferred from Everton to Manchester United, and he has stayed exactly the same. There have been no upgrades from him, apart from the fact when you get him in a pack on FIFA 14, you can expect him to be a centre attacking mid. If you did get him on FIFA 13, he was got just a standard centre mid, but this time he's going to be a centre attacking midfielder. So looking at his stats then, his pace has dropped by 1, his shooting has gone up by 5. That, for a midfielder, is absolutely ridiculous. I believe that was more than Lewandowski. In fact, I'm going to go back and check this here quickly. Lewandowski's shooting went up by 3, and Fellaini's has gone up by 5. So that is absolutely insane. His passing has dropped by 2. His dribbling has gone up by 2. His defending has gone down by 1. And his heading has gone up by 2, which is pretty obvious with the amount of goals he scored with his head and his height and how much of an aerial threat he is from corners. But anyway, his overall has stayed exactly the same at 81, but his in-game stats have got a lot of improvements, especially his shooting, which has gone up by 5. The next player we're going to be looking at then is Eden Hazard. He has taken a 2 overall rating drop. He has gone from an 87 down to an 85. Now, I know a couple of weeks ago, for example, Nepenthes and R9 Rai were doing predictions on what Hazard would be, and they both said he was going to be an 85 rated player, and they got absolutely destroyed for it because apparently the whole FIFA community thought he was going to either stay at an 87 or even move up to an 88. So they got absolutely shit on for predicting the fact that he was going to stay at an 85, get dropped, to an 85 rated player. And you know, that's exactly what has happened. In FIFA 14, he is going to be an 85 rated player. So yesterday on Twitter, they were feeling very proud of themselves, knowing that they were the ones that had the correct prediction on that one. So very well done to Nepenthes and Arnon Rai for predicting that one. But looking at his stats then, his pace has dropped by 3, his shooting has gone up by 1, his passing has stayed exactly the same at 83, his dribbling has taken a drop by 2, his defending has gone up by 1, and his heading has stayed exactly the same at 62. So looking at his stats, I mean, there aren't that many decreases. However, his overall rating has dropped from 87 to 85. As well as that, if you got him on FIFA 13... Beg your pardon, I'm coughing all over the place here. If you did get him on FIFA 13, you would have got him as a left winger. This time on FIFA 14, if you do get him in a pack, you can expect to get him as a left mid. So, finally then, we have Lamela, recently transferred from Roma over to Tottenham Hotspur, and he has taken an over increase of 4. That's insane. That is the highest upgrade we have seen so far in this series, and we've nearly looked at 30 players. So he has gone from a 77 rated right forward to an 81 right winger. That is that's a huge upgrade for one player from one game to the next. That is a massive achievement for him, and personally, I think it's well deserved. He had an amazing season last season for Roma. But anyway, looking at his stats, his pace has dropped by 2, his shooting has gone up by 7. That is nuts. His passing has also increased by 2, his dribbling has stayed exactly the same, his defending has dropped off by 1, and his heading has gone up by 3. So that increase in his shooting, passing, and heading is absolutely phenomenal, and his overall rating has gone up from 77 to 81. But anyway, that is all for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, please do leave a like, and if there is anyone you would like to see covered, well, I should say compared. If there is anyone you would like to see compared to the FIFA 14 to the FIFA 13 version, let me know in the comments. I will pick up as many names as possible as to how frequently their name appears in the comment section below, and I'll make sure that they are covered for you guys in the next episode. But as I said, if you did enjoy this episode, please do leave a like. If you can smash 2,000 likes, as always, that would be absolutely insane. And until my next one, I'll be speaking to you guys later. Take care.